Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. CasaHumilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at CasaHumilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the District Brew Yards. CasaHumilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman, hands down one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713 or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Se siente bien cuando tomamos la decisión correcta, como cuando eliges la canción perfecta para el momento perfecto, o decides tomar una buena noche de descanso después de un día muy agitado. Tan bueno como tomar la decisión correcta en el tema de seguros. Por eso, Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí en Albany Park para ayudarte a elegir la protección que quieres, el precio que quieres. Gessiel te explicará todo acerca de tus coberturas con State Farm para que sepas qué esperar si ocurre lo inesperado. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es fácil tomar la decisión correcta. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Go check them out on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Make sure you look good, fellas.
It's also brought to you by Chicago Stickers. Contact R.A Graphix or Chicago Stickers. They're located in Elgin and they print everything from stickers, business cards, t-shirts, flyers, truck lettering. But they got you covered for all the trade show products, like table covers, like this one, like ours, banners, canopies, backdrops, and much more. So for more info, follow them on IG at R.A Graphix with an X or at Chicago Stickers.
Today's episode is brought to you by Aguacate Chicago. Create your custom garment with us. We offer direct-to-garment services for your business or personal needs. There is no minimum order required, and we can also assist with creating your logo if needed. Follow us on all of our social media platforms under Aguacate Chicago. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Su compa Carlos Rodríguez.
What's up, everybody? Yo soy Jesse Grandote.
What's good? Your boy Fry from Fry Guy Designs.
¿Cómo andamos, viejones? Le queremos dar las gracias a todos por esta temporada número 6.
Yes.
Que nos fue de maravilla. Muchísimas gracias por todo el apoyo, por toda la gente que estaba escuchando, que estaba viendo en YouTube, en Spotify, en Apple Podcast. Empezamos de volada para agradecerles a ustedes y a la gente que nos echa la mano detrás de las cámaras, al Mexican Jay-Z en el audio, José Cermeño, a mi compa el Mechudo, que hoy sí nos tocó estar aquí ayudándonos también, a mi compa el Georgie. Que está behind the scenes, doing all the editing.
Shout out.
Hola, Mechudo. Salud para ellos y para ustedes, que más que nada son los episodios que sé que les interesa mucho, el Extra Guac.
Every time you say Extra Guac, solamente sale en mi pensamiento, nada de salsa, pura crema, baby.
El Extra Guac sale caro, el hijo de la
Sale caro, no. Un shout out para toda la gente. Whenever we're at Rancho Los Guzman,
Yes.
and they always come up to me, they're like, hey, man, the GuacPod, you're the guy from the GuacPod, ¿verdad? And I'm like, yeah, that's
Like if you can't tell.
No, if they can't tell, they can't tell.
The table covers you up.
Yeah,
That's right.
eso.
That's why.
They just go off the white
They
beard.
just want to make sure.
They just want to make sure, is this you? Pero para toda la gente.
Or you can take off your shirt, then it will recognize you.
No, ya no.
PG
Esos
today.
son bien caros.
Pero today, a toda la gente que sí nos saluda ahí en Rancho Guzmán, Cantarito Guzmán, thank you for watching. We had a very fun season. We're going to do an end of the recap, so stay tuned for that. It'll be right after this episode. We're going to do a live end of season recap as Extra Guac as well. Empezamos rapidito, como siempre, a mis compas. We're going to mention the sponsors, because sin ellos, la verdad, nos han ayudado bastante cada temporada. Y empezamos con los meros, con mis compas que están aquí atrás de nosotros, que ayer pisteamos Casa Humilde de los Guzman beer.
The Guzman
I don't know if you
beer.
had that one yet.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
awesome.
Every time en Rancho Los Guzman, y si pasan, pide la cerveza Rancho Los Guzman de Casa Humilde Cerveceria.
It's so good. It's another Mexican lager, so it's very good. Para mi compa José y Javi López de Casa Humilde, muchos saludos, muchas gracias por esta temporada. We've been together for a couple seasons now, so thank you to them.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias para mi compa Luis Guzmán de Rancho Los Guzman en Joliet. Se los encargamos, ya tiene la agenda un poco llena para el 2024, pero aparte su fecha para viernes y domingo.
Yes, sir.
A mi compa Gessiel Gutierrez de State Farm, cuidado mi
Special
compa JC.
Ya se cayó el güey.
Special Agent G, saludo para mi compa Gessiel, que también le está yendo muy bien allá en Albany Park.
Eso.
Esa es la última, no sé si es la última oportunidad, pero sé que es la última vez que lo voy a mencionar.
¿The trifecta?
El trifecta.
Oh, shit.
Sigue en pie el especial con mi compa Gessiel Gutierrez en State Farm. Si agarras el Home Life Insurance y Auto Insurance, las tres, te toca una hora de los toxis gratis. Una hora gratis de los toxis. Nomás dígale que si él mention el GuacPod, and you'll get that extra hour for free.
God damn.
Para mi compa Javi Borjas de Borjas Law Group,
Shout out.
muchos saludos para él. I know he really enjoyed La Loquera, because La Loquera was actually playing soccer with him back in that time too. Saludos para mi compa Javi
Con los
Borjas.
zambas.
Borjas Law Group, number one immigration lawyer in the Chicagoland area. Igual menciona el GuacPod y la consulta para cualquier pregunta de inmigración es absolutamente gratis. No, mi compa José se está cayendo todo hoy.
No, de seguro le gustó mucho el Rancho Los Guzman anoche. Hijos de su
The
madre.
good thing it's the last one.
I know.
Puras fallas.
Saludos
I love you, man.
para mis compas de Chicago Stickers. Muchísimas gracias por los manteles. Aguantaron la temporada. Agárrate for the next season. We need another color. Agárrate con el
No,
sponsorship.
Rosita.
We need stickers and everything, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Saludo para mi copa de Chicago Stickers. Place your orders. Bastante de los grupos que conocemos han ido ahí con él y vemos bastante stickers that they're always out there pushing it. To my boy Sergio, all the crew, Goodfellas 1 and 2. Stay fresh, man. You guys gotta look good.
You all fresh, Jesse, or what?
Oh yeah.
¿Está?
Look at that. No lie.
Ahí está.
Stay fresh.
yeah.
Para mi compa Sergio, todo el equipo que andan siempre bien motivados cada viernes escuchando el GuacPod en 1 and 2, Goodfellas Parlor. Cáiganle ahí, compadre. Me parece que is that it?
Yeah,
that's it.
Chicago.
My boy Georgie.
Yeah.
Are you wearing one? No.
Hey, not the, oh.
I'm not wearing one
I'm
today.
not wearing one today.
Georgie, sorry today, bro. You got to make us more shirts. Para mi compa Georgie, Aguacate Chicago, go order your custom shirts para sus agrupaciones, para su negocio, para su bachelorette party. We do there's no minimum, there's no maximum. It's just one shirt you want, we'll do it for you. One shirt, 12 shirts, 1,000 shirts. Just place your order. Aguacate Chicago, send us a DM. Ya tenemos ahí algunas de Peso Plumas coming up in September at the end when this comes out.
Yep.
Order your Peso Pluma shirt. We got it out there already too. Ahora sí, ya está. Ahora sí, los invitados de honor, viejo. Today, these are the kind of episodes que pienso yo que nosotros de este lado vamos a tener que quedarnos un poquito más callados.
Yeah.
Porque tenemos que aprender, al igual que ustedes que están viendo y escuchando, de esa trayectoria. Estaba tratando de pensar si hemos tenido a alguien o que hemos platicado con alguien con esa trayectoria tan larga y no. El más cerquita ha sido a la Potrillos y ellos tienen como 28 años.
Yeah.
Y todavía ni le llegan tan cerca.
Cuando me llegó la llamada en este momento, I'm like, what? We got them. Y vamos a hablar con ellos. No. Pues una chulada de gente.
I know Jesse is a big fan of this mariachi.
I'm a big fan. Y le puedo comprobar aquí en los mensajes de textos. Les puedo enseñar porque siempre
I
me
love you,
hablan.
Miguel.
No, aparte de Miguel, ¿verdad? Pero siempre cuando me dicen, ¿me pueden, can you recommend somebody? I just put MariachiAmeca.com.
Yeah.
Those are my number ones.
Yeah.
So
Same. Honestly.
También.
We're always recommending them as much as we can. Pero más que nada, I'm excited just to hear this story. I love history, but I love the roots. I love where everything comes from. So I hope that everyone enjoys. Y aparte que for us, it's also the first mariachi that we're gonna have on El GuacPod on season 6. And I hope we have more after this, but at least we have the guys that we really, really wanted to talk to first.
Yes,
so si me pueden ayudar para darle la muy buena bienvenida a los buenos amigos de Mariachi Ameca.
Bienvenidos a la familia Cervantes.
Gracias, Jesse. Yeah, thanks so much for having us, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you calling us to come out here.
Oh, man, I'm glad. Qué bueno que sí se pudo, ¿verdad? Porque sé que también están súper ocupados, bastante con el trabajo y weekends y aparte ocupados como mi compa Jesse. Estamos bien cansados el pinche lunes, más que nada. Antes yo pensé, dije que el lunes, pinche me quería decir, el lunes, pues andamos todos desvelados. El lunes está difícil.
Sí está difícil.
Pero nos da mucha alegría que estén aquí para poder compartir su historia, ¿verdad? De tantos años. Porque ahorita que llegaron yo ni en cuenta que era desde el 83. Me habían dicho, ¿verdad? 83.
1983.
Que era una de las cosas que empezó en México o empezó aquí en el área de Chicago en 1900.
Chicago. Bueno, yo empecé a trabajar en México, empecé a estudiar música. Uh-huh. Aparte de eso, pues ya después me fui a Garibaldi, como 5 años. Wow. Y después me vine para acá en el año de 1977. Sí. Aquí me entregué a algunos grupos de mariachis y poco a poco fui formando.
Eso es lo que le pido. Mi papá vino aquí en el 1975, ¿verdad? Aquí en el área de Chicago. Sí, y siempre le digo, ¿por qué Chicago? Podríamos ir a Texas, podríamos ir a California. No está calientito y escogieron Chicago. ¿Por qué Chicago?
No, pues Chicago es una ciudad muy bonita. Aparte, pues tenemos todo lo que hay en México. Sí. Y todo, exacto. A la comida.
Puro chicken.
En otros estados como que no está muy buena la comida.
Es raro eso, ¿verdad?
Es algo que tiene Chicago que no tienen otros estados.
Eso es lo que he notado, que es un poquito raro, que no somos como una ciudad como cerca de la frontera, ¿verdad?
No.
Y podemos comer rico, tener cosas. Hasta la vitacilina la podemos acá. We can get Mexican drugs over here. The legal one. Well, they're kind of not legal,
okay.
pero
yeah, not exactly.
no los vamos a quemar a la gente, ¿verdad?
¿Qué será? ¿Será el producto? Porque las manos son las mismas, ¿verdad? Son manos mexicanas en el aspecto de cómo cocinan allá en otros estados.
Porque sí es casi lo mismo acá en Chicago.
Because even in Texas is a very different, es muy diferente la comida mexicana, el Tex-Mex allá, ¿verdad?
Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Pero yo estaba allá en El Paso y como ahí iba la cosa, no era too Tex-Mex, pero porque está ahí ya pegado la ciudad Juárez, ahí está pegada right next door, so it's like they got some good food in El Paso. You got really good food over there, so. Pero también las manos.
Oiga, y disculpe mi ignorancia. Cuando usted dice que fue dijo Garibaldi.
Ajá.
No la Plaza Garibaldi de la 26.
No, la que está en la
me
ciudad,
refiero a
la ciudad
sí,
de México.
Pero allí ahí fue a trabajar
a trabajar, exacto.
Okay.
Bueno, en la familia de mi padre fueron 8 hermanos. Nacieron en Ameca, Jalisco, precisamente. Y pues ellos se fueron también para Garibaldi a trabajar. También todos ellos fueron mariachis. Entonces, pues ya de ahí.
Entonces eso del mariachi es mucho antes de usted también.
Sí, bueno, yo soy la segunda generación.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that he played norteño music before he played mariachi. So we
Oh,
have
wow.
both. We have mariachi and norteño in our family.
Oh,
So he was an accordion player before he picked up any mariachi instruments.
Wow. Bueno, ¿Ha llegado al famosísimo Tenampa también?
Sí, muchísimas veces. No me lo recuerdes, por favor. Porque me regreso.
Allá en Jalisco, ¿qué se llama el Callejón de los Mariachis? O ahí en mero Guadalajara, ¿cómo se llama
No,
exactamente?
es la Plaza de los Mariachis,
la plaza.
Mariachis que está en San Juan de Dios. puede
Sí,
ser.
en
Ahí está.
Taiwán de Dios, como
Ahí
dice.
está. Sí.
Ahí llegó ahí a un tiempo. Ahí
A trabajar
trabajó.
no. A trabajar no.
No, son bien exigentes los mariachis ahí en ese momento. Ni me estoy estacionando y ¿quieres música? Pues déjame estacionarme. No, pero qué bonito es Ameca, Jalisco. Por ahí pasé y
Sí, hombre.
los conocen donde quieran, son bien famosísimos allá. Pasamos rumbo a Guadalajara, pero veníamos de Puerto Vallarta.
Ajá, sí,
y nos fuimos por la Libre y pues ahí llegamos unos pollos asados que están bien riquísimos en Ameca, Jalisco.
Sí, cómo no.
That's in Ameca.
Yeah.
Y luego entonces cuando cuando usted ya creció con eso del mariachi desde antes, ¿cómo fue eso growing up? ¿Era música 100% del día o porque me imagino que le inculcaron la música desde muy pequeño?
Desde muy pequeño yo ya precisamente en la estación de mi pueblo de Ameca, había un programa que empezaban con un son jalicense que se llama El Pasajero. No, pues muy bonito, puros sones, puras polcas, era muy bonito en esa época lo que ponían en el radio. Y pues viendo a mis tíos y pues ya como que ya lo trae uno pues
Sí.
el gusto por tocar un instrumento.
¿Y qué toca usted?
Todo.
No, pues cargo varios, pero el violín es lo que regularmente toco aquí con los muchachos.
Okay.
Que todavía me dan chance, pues. Después que los enseñé ya no me quieren.
Pero nunca ha tenido la oportunidad de involucrar el acordeón ahí en mariachi.
Sí, cada rato.
A veces, cada rato.
En sí, pues tú conoces a Rocío y la traemos otra niña que toca el violín. Ellas cantan canciones de Chelo, no sé si se acuerdan.
Sí.
Como La Lámpara, Mejor Me Voy. Entonces ahí le metemos a veces el acordeón.
Unas veces
No regularmente.
viene Rocío y en las tocadas privadas y ya tengo micrófono. No necesito micrófono. No, es bonito de saber cómo manejar un micrófono, ¿verdad? Porque
claro.
Cuando se pegan mucho así ¿qué es lo que, pues aparte de inculcar la música, cuándo supo usted de que sus hijos eran talentosos, con voz, pues sí, ya tenían la música en la sangre, pero cuándo ya supo que esto va a ser como un grupo familiar?
Bueno, yo en realidad no tenía eso pensado para ellos. Porque pues ustedes andan en el ambiente, ¿verdad? También saben que pues uno de músico, si te dedicas nada más a eso, pues a veces hay trabajo y a veces no.
Claro.
Entonces yo decía, no, mis hijos tienen que estudiar algo para que pues se defiendan, que no anden como yo.
Un plan B.
Que se defiendan, que sean profesionales, o sea, pero nunca en la música, ya nada. Porque a mí me tocó andar en grupos donde había malos hábitos de los compañeros y pues desgraciadamente a veces tienen que tocarles a personas que pues andan mal y cuando un grupo suena bien te contratan mucho. Entonces ahí hay alguna confianza que luego te dan ellos y muchachos, aquí hay esto, aquí hay el otro y algunos compañeros pues nos vamos de cuernos y yo decía, no, pues no quiero esto para mis hijos. Pero ya cuando pues miramos, mi esposa me dijo, Miguel, pues yo le veo talento. Ya, qué caray, ¿cómo? Sí. Y pues, no, pues ya vi que en realidad que sí quería ser músico. Entonces dije, no, pues si quieres ser músico vas a ser pero profesional. Entonces desde niño, yo como no es que los 12 años tenías, 11.
12.
Entonces ya lo llevé ahí aquí al centro de Chicago, a una escuela de música. Y órale. Entonces ya sobre eso, pues siguió vámonos, este no quería. decía, porque me estaba chiquitillo, tenía unos 7 años. Me dijo un día, ¿por qué me impones a mí esto? ¿Por qué me impones el violín a mí? ¿Por qué? Dije, ay caray, ¿cómo le haré? Le dije, no, mira, mi hijo, no te lo estoy imponiendo, es que es una tradición familiar. Mira, tus primos allá en México tocan el violín, tus abuelitos, ahí le barajé la cosa. Y ya, total, que me lo llevé a estudiar y le empezó a gustar. Sí. Y ya cuando entró ya más grandecito al grupo, pues ya me preguntaba, papá, ¿cuántas horas hay? Empezó a ver que pues se ganaba el dinero, güey.
Yeah.
Y pues sí, ya se compraba él sus cosas, sus juguetes y todo eso.
Going back to 12
Sí,
years old.
oye, pues bien carísimo todo eso. Me acuerdo que me pedía siempre unos muñequitos de la lucha libre en aquel tiempo. O sea, hombre, me costaban 20 cada
Cada muñequito.
cada muñequito. Y dije, no, hombre.
Going back to the 12 years old when you wanted to start music, ¿cómo te sentías? Like, how did you know? Like, around that age is when you know that you want to get into music, you know, porque esas eran las mismas edades que yo estaba entrando en la música también.
I never thought that I'd be doing mariachi or anything, but I know that I used to like musicals and stuff, and even like the boy bands, you know, back in the 90s, I like to sing, you know, to their songs and stuff like that, and I would do it, you know, away from all my friends because I didn't want them to think anything, you know.
You wanted to be part of a boy band?
Look at Miguel sing.
No, and then my sister was, you know, she was in high school and she was doing like musical theater, and I always wanted to do that, but I never had like the courage to actually, you know, go for it myself. And I remember for like a family party or something, I was singing El Rey, I think, you know, with the DJ or whatever. And my mom heard me and she's like, hey, you sing pretty good. Like, you know, you should start singing with your dad or tell your dad. But like my dad said, he didn't really want us to have anything to do with, you know, with music or whatever. And she kind of pushed it and she's like, hey, what do you think about taking violin lessons or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure. So then I started playing for like, I think I was like 3 months in. And we got the call back from Six Flags Great America because they had been playing there throughout the 90s. I think this was about 2004, 2005. And he said, hey, they're calling us to Six Flags. How would you like to go and perform with us? And I was like, I've only been playing the violin for 3 months, but whatever, you know. Yeah, let's do it.
So esa es la entrada, ¿verdad?
Yeah, so
empezar con el violín, right?
My first gig was there at Six Flags and by myself because they only wanted 4 mariachis. Oh. So that was my debut by myself, yeah.
Alondo, luego to the deep end.
Luego lo aventé, pero no, es que yo le vi mucha disposición para el violín, mucha facilidad. Entonces dije, no, pues de aquí eres, vámonos.
And you were 12 then? Or no?
I was 12, yeah.
Did you have that deep voice at 12?
No. No, I used to sing super high, and even like throughout high school and stuff, they were trying to hire me to go and sing the national anthem and all that stuff.
Nice.
And I got involved with the choir and all that.
You would get all the solos in middle school.
Yeah. And again, thanks to my mom because I never had the courage to. I'm like, I don't want. My friends are going to think some way about me, you know. So I don't want to go up and do all that stuff. But you know, she kind of pushed me. I established like a really good relationship with my music teacher. We still talk to this day. So yeah, that's where it all kind of started for me, at least.
And just a little fast forward. You're graduate, es graduado de música profesional, ¿verdad? Like estudiado, I should say.
Well, I got my bachelor's here in Chicago for music education, and I taught a little bit. I actually taught your son.
You taught my son.
Okay.
I taught his son for a little bit in the mariachi program that they had there at Calmeca Academy.
Shout out.
Shout out to Calmeca.
They're called los jabaritos.
Yeah, and then during COVID, I was like, man, I got to do something new, And my wife was like, hey, why don't you get your master's? And I was like, but what am I going to get my master's in? And we had seen this documentary on mariachis in high school, but in Texas. And in Texas, they take it to another level. They're super good. They go and compete and all that.
Wow.
So I was like, I want to learn, how they do things. So that's what I did. I ended up going to Texas State in San Marcos, Texas, which is right between Austin and San Antonio. And I started gigging out there. I started learning, from the professionals, guys that played with Mariachi Aslan, Mariachi Los Camperos. They're well known in the U.S. So I went and I got my master's, and now I'm here. So I was gone for 2 years, and I just got back. Yeah.
Wow. How's that gigging over there? Like, I know the business aquí en Chicago, pero yendo a un lugar que casi no conoces, who do you plug up there?
Dude,
or how do you do it?
It's crazy. All I did was put on Facebook, hey, I'm available. I can play, these instruments. Boom, right away.
La comunidad de...
Yeah. No, that's what it's called, la comunidad de mariachis.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah, and they hit me up and they said, can you send me a video? So I sent them one of the videos where I'm playing all the instruments,
Well, was that the one that went viral? The one that you did what is that? It was
that was cool too.
That was cool, man.
It was one of those. Yeah, I sent them one of those, and right away they're like, okay, we'll take you. Yeah, we'll take you. And that's how it was. I mean, it's steady work in Austin. It was pretty good. At first, I was working in San Antonio, but man, it was a lot of talon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that term. Yeah,
Talon,
you use that same.
talonear over
Do you
there?
use it in banda and norteño too? I imagine?
Talón for the norteños. In the banda, they like to use whipear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Talonear, same thing.
Yeah.
But that's like going to the restaurants and
Yeah.
going table to table. or
Yeah.
something?
So in San Antonio, it was a lot of that. And in Austin, it was a little bit easier gigs, 4-piece, 5-piece groups. And, it was a really good time. It was kind of refreshing because here with Mariachi Ameca, for some time, I was kind of the one that was in charge of directing and all that. So it was kind of nice just to go and do my thing, and that's it. I don't have to worry about anything else.
No, Jaime, como cuando llegó aquí a Chicago, no es tan fácil de poner un post en Facebook aquel entonces, ¿verdad? Y decir, yo toco esto. ¿Cómo le hizo usted cuando...?
No, tú sabes, los mariachis somos bien chismosos. Ya cayó uno nuevo, órale, ahí está.
Ahí está.
¿Quién lo necesita? No, pues yo, órale, vámonos.
Nomás así se pone. Corría la voz así.
Sí, así, y era también puro talón en ese tiempo. Pero había mucho trabajo en las barras, exagerado. Estaba como un auge de, sabrá Dios qué, pero sí.
¿Cómo ven pues dice que había mucho trabajo aquel entonces, que los 80, los 90,
Ajá.
casi los 2000 o ya iba bajando eso?
Sí, eso bajó demasiado, pues sí, ya de los 90 para arriba ya no, pero ya había más trabajos en bodas, quinceañeras y eso, todo eso. Algo más, pues más bien, porque pues no era talón, no era andar en cantinas o...
¿A qué debido era eso? O sea, de que se bajó el trabajo, nomás la popularidad de... Es que mucha gente quiere ser Vicente Fernández. Cuando ve un mariachi, quieren ser Vicente Fernández, ¿verdad? O quieren ser la estrella, pero no se ubican un poquito más musicalmente, ¿verdad?
Yeah. I think it's just part of evolution with the people, right?
Pero la
they
música...
start going to barras. When's the last time you went to a cantina?
Una cantina.
Yeah.
Para ver un mariachi, pues yo crecí ir a un restaurante, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Un
exacto.
restaurante
Sí,
y escuchar. Eso es lo que yo yo crecí, like, así veo un mariachi. Si yo quiero un mariachi, pues vamos a un restaurante familiar y ahí está tocando, pues sí, talonear, ¿verdad?
Sí, taloneando.
Y así como le mencionó como a sus hijos que es como una tradición familiar, para ellos, o para ustedes, más que nada Miguel y Andrés, is it those big shoes to fill? Like, was it always like a little bit of pressure, being that it is a family thing, and decir no, like, nah, yo no quiero hacer esto?
I mean, there's a lot of talented musicians in our family. Like I can name my tío Hugo, my tío Chuy, just at the top of my mind. But I mean, at least for me personally, there is a lot of pressure. Like, I'm very, very young. I have my dad, for one, knows all these songs that he's learned from his heyday, and I try to. My dream is to reach that level. Just do my best, do the best that I can as a musician, but embrace those
How do
roots
you
as
deal with
well.
that Rolodex, though, man? Because right now, a musician brings out a phone and starts reading the lyrics, And,
Yeah.
and I never seen. I mean,
Yes,
con todo
yeah.
respeto,
Sorry.
but I never seen that. Yo nunca lo he visto con un mariachi que hagan eso, especialmente con ustedes.
Yeah,
Like, how do you?
I'm guilty of it myself. Most mariachis are, but even the pros. But just one song at a time. I try my best. At the end of the day, if I don't know a song, I'll just ask my dad, like, hey, you got this one?
That's one thing that we try to stay away from is using the phone, and it's just because I guess it's not part of the tradition. We try to be as traditional as possible, and some other groups do their own thing or whatever. It's fine, but we try to kind of,
Pero ¿qué hacen? Si no la conocen, nomás dicen, no la conocemos. No,
Pues sí.
Te la debemos.
Pues sí.
I mean, it depends, man. It depends, really. It depends on the situation. If the client's like really, no, I want you to play the song, then well, pues ni modo, you got to take out the phone. But,
Muchas veces le decimos, oiga, pues no la sabemos, pero si quiere, me sé la tonada, pero no me acuerdo la letra.
Okay.
Si quiere, se la podemos.
Usted respeta mucho al cliente, ¿verdad?
Oh, claro que sí. Entonces ya, pues el cliente no duda comer. Si no lo respeto,
Yo
pues
la toco
olvides.
y usted cántela.
No, le digo, si quiere la leemos. Y ya dice sí, o no, o lo que sea.
Nunca se cruza una canción con otra de tantas miles y miles
Claro,
de canciones.
cada rato.
A cada rato le cambia la letra.
Cada rato lo invento yo por ahí.
Me quedo con un poquito de curiosidad también porque mencionó Miguel que como cuando fueron a Great America en aquellos años que era como 4 como nosotros empezamos en banda y sabemos que tiene que ir tantos de cada uno, ¿verdad? Idealmente, ¿qué es un mariachi completo? ¿Cuántos de cada instrumento y todo? Porque obviamente he visto con acordeón pero ideal, ¿qué es un mariachi completo?
Bueno, un mariachi completo es como, pues los mariachis grandes, como, bueno, ya con 8 personas suena a mariachi. Suena a mariachi con 4 violines, 2 trompetas, guitarrón, vihuela o guitarra, o si la pura vihuela, otro violín, unos 5 violines. Entonces ya suena a mariachi. Pero pues menos, pues ya suena a nota a mariachi. Pero pues los completos, pues ya es mariachi Vargas, mariachi Camperos, todo es que traen 7 violines, 3 trompetas, arpa, guitarrón, vihuela y hasta 2 guitarras. No son como la banda de ustedes que son 14, 15.
Sí,
Así más o menos.
más o menos igual. 14 piece.
Even I remember watching a video of Mariachi Sol de Mexico, and that's like another big group out there that's kind of out there in the mainstream. I've seen a video where they actually incorporate an accordion, so you kind of view it as like this thing that's only seen like at bars or at backyard parties, but no, like this is this is something legitimate. It's more it's cool to see that it's being incorporated on big stages where groups like Camperos and Sol de Mexico play on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like your preference or whatever, but I think you definitely need someone to cover each part. So, you know, most of the songs have 3 violin parts, so at least have the 3 violins to cover each part. You know, most songs have 2 trumpet parts, so have the 2 trumpets, guitarrón, vihuela, and the guitar. A lot of people take the guitar for granted, and you know, even us, we don't even have a guitar player. But it's important. If you want to be called the mariachi, I think you need to have those components, right? And then the harp and the accordion, we call those like instrumentos de lujo, you know. They're nice to have, but they're not like necessary.
Es como complemento, por decir, el acordeón es complemento para darle un poquito de sabor, por decir, norteño a X canción.
Es como si en las bandas ahorita también a veces usan acordeón también. Pero no es necesario, pero...
No es necesario, pero...
¿Es Jesús Ramos empezó con ustedes o qué es what's the story with him?
So he started with Mariachi Monumental de Mexico.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out.
And so one of the things you were talking about, right? You were saying, you know, did we feel like this pressure? I kind of felt a pressure of like staying with my dad's band always, you know, because he's my dad. But there was one time, you know, where I'm just like, man, I want to like progress. And it was at that time where el trabajo, you know, it was slowing down. We were getting, you know, we were losing all of our members. We could only get, you know, like the older guys, and they weren't playing like the stuff that I wanted to play, you know. So I ended up going for a time to try out, you know, another band. So that's where I met Jesus. I met him in Mariachi Monumental de Mexico. And we just had like this really strong bond, and he decided to come back over here with us, and you know that's where it started, kind of with him. And I had like this little recording studio at the house, and we were trying, you know, different things. I know he was like doing Brian McKnight stuff with mariachi and things like that. You know, it was really cool. It was a really cool thing, a really cool experience, and he's a great guy.
But you never got out of the mariachi.
Not really. No. No, I would go away.
Because I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the pressure of staying with your dad. Porque igual como cuando vemos grupos and like, oh, I play with my dad, and then you could just see the pressure because the kid wants to, you know, they want to go do something else or their own thing.
Yeah. No, and I would always get people that would be like, nah, you know, you gotta branch out, you gotta do your own thing. And
pero esa es la cultura de un mariachi, ¿no? I mean, con todo respeto le quiero preguntar esto, porque yo he visto unos mariachis que es un mariachi de aquí, otro mariachi de allá, y pues ya a cuestiones de trabajo, pues se tiene que hacer el trabajo, ¿verdad? Pero una vez anuncié el mariachi porque conocí a un miembro que estaba tocando en ese grupo y era el mariachi equivocado. Dice, no soy yo, es que él agarró el trabajo y pues es le ponemos el nombre, pero ya sé como músico, pues como cualquier músico que se pueda acoplar para hacer un trabajo, sí. Esa es cultura de un mariachi, de agarrar.
Sí, porque pues a veces algunos elementos se van de vacaciones o se te acaba el grupo o lo que sea, como en cualquier género musical. Entonces tú tienes que llamarle a compañeros que sabes que te pueden ayudar.
Necesito trompeta, necesito esto, necesito violín.
Sí, porque pues siendo mariachis pues conocen el repertorio.
Sí.
Y tú sabes más o menos quién
puedes contar,
te puede ayudar.
¿Quién puede sacar el trabajo?
Exacto.
Yeah.
Nice.
¿Y qué tan difícil es ahorita en el género de mariachi conseguir músicos jóvenes? O sea, si hay muchachos que están tocando, que están ensayando mariachi, o es igual, no quiero compararlo, pero es lo que sabemos, por decir, los banderos, muchos ya empiezan a traer los músicos de México, porque aquí ya no hay tantos músicos jóvenes que agarraron el arte de la banda. En el aspecto mariachi es el mismo dilema, por decir, o sea, sí hay talento joven para poder seguir incorporando los mariachis y que siga la tradición de la música de mariachi.
Pues yo pienso que sí hay muchachos que les gusta y con mucho talento también. Inclusive nosotros traemos pues puro joven.
Okay.
Las dos trompetas son dos hermanitos que uno, ¿cuántos años tiene
Como 16.
Adán tiene 19.
Adán tiene 19 y el otro tiene como 16.
Ok.
Y
Jonathan tiene
Jo-
21.
Jonah tiene 21 y son muchachos que han estudiado, inteligentes y que pueden tocar el mariachi, le están dando el sabor. Y aquí, gracias a Dios, Miguel pues los asesora mucho con lo que ha estudiado, con lo que... Pero yo pienso que sí hay. Sí hay.
Yeah. It's kind of tough to know for real because the trumpet players that he was mentioning, they are the sons of, the trumpet player that's been playing for a while. Yeah.
Oh,
so they're his kids.
Yeah.
And then the vihuela player that we have is a kid also of, he comes from mariachi tradition.
Yeah.
So the only one that doesn't have any mariachi, I guess, or roots. Mariachi roots is our guitarrón player, Jonathan, and then our violin player, Christine. But she has a lot of classical background, and she's learning,
Pero
the feel of mariachi.
precisamente le estaba comentando yo ayer a Cristina que cómo ha agarrado el sabor mariachero en su violín. Es una niña muy buena para su instrumento.
Ellos están más acostumbrados de leer música, ¿verdad? Cuando cuestiones a eso. Are you dabbing into that, like classical music? Or were you were doing some type of performing arts? No.
Yeah, well, I started playing violin at 7, and when if you're a violin player at that young age, the first book that you read as a violin player is called Suzuki. It's called the Suzuki method. It's like this form of teaching. And you learn like basic folk songs, and then as you get better at the beginning you learn basic folk songs, and then as you get better, as you progress with the books, you start learning more traditional classical pieces, like Johann Sebastian Bach, Vivaldi, Mozart, Beethoven, all that stuff. And I really enjoyed the classical side of it. I know that my family comes from mariachi, but having that, just being able to at least delve a little bit into the classical world was pretty cool. When I graduated out of high school, I went to UIC for a year, and that was my first time ever being in a symphonic orchestra. So like several different violins, violas, cellos, the big trumpets in the back, and it was great. We played that. We played Beethoven's Fifth, and it was so cool, and I think for like any developing mariachi student, especially on violin, I think it's important to look at that too, to look at the classical side of things. But my heart belongs to mariachi at the end of the day.
It's a strong foundation, to have that classical training, and then mariachi is a totally different thing. It's another thing, but it's still the foundations. And when I was doing my master's, I was learning from Miguel Guzman, who was a former member of Mariachi Los Camperos, and we were still going over, etudes and stuff that were classical, foundation. And then we would go over rep. Oh, right here we kind of do this in mariachi. We kind of do this. But I wouldn't have been able to do those things if it wasn't for my classical training.
Nunca en las clases de ustedes o whatever classes. No, mi papá me dijo que lo haga así.
No, hombre.
Imagínense. Yo quiero saber cómo son las carnitas asadas ahí en la casa de Cervantes. O sea, que cantan, do you guys jam out? What do you guys do? Que es algo típico que hacen ustedes.
Algunas veces, no siempre.
No, pero casi siempre sí. Casi siempre sí.
No, porque yo cuando hago carne asada no quiero saber nada de música. O sea, si mis hijos quieren tocar música, pero de que digan, que ponte a tocar, ponte de DJ o a tocar, yo nunca lo hago en la casa.
Yeah, no, it's nice to kind of just chill
Relax,
out, relax.
But I think it's different when you're in that setting, because you're doing it more for yourself, So I know for like my graduation, when I graduated my master's, they came down from Texas. They came down to Texas, and even my teacher, my professor, he came down. He came in, and we all played together. We played for hours, and it was like I had the time of my
Todo
life.
el día.
Todos los días los vecinos andaban bien contentos.
Todo el día.
I had a question as far as when you say foundation, like the classical music to the violin and everything. What would you say is the foundation of mariachi that you would first teach a student? Like basic mariachi, like maybe a group or a style.
They would say El Rey first.
Yeah, like some songs, certain songs. What would you kind of say would be something you teach first?
I mean, for a lot of singers, like male singers especially, their first song to sing is El Rey. Yeah.
I know that.
Lucky guess right there.
Lucky guess.
But I mean, just showing them like an authentic mariachi sound. Mariachi Vargas, mariachi Camperos.
Yeah.
Stuff that sounds like mariachi, because you're going to understand it more the more that you listen to it, the more that you immerse yourself in that culture.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like the first songs to teach, like, kids at elementary school, like, like De Colores or something like that, something very, very easy that they can like grasp. Yeah.
And that's what we were having a conversation about this earlier, but like we don't have training in teaching mariachi, so it's like we went to Vandercook and they only have orchestra, choir, and band. So they're like, well, what do we teach the kids first? Well, we teach them the stuff that we learned, and then from there we built up. But I found out that even like my professors at Texas State, they're doing the same thing. They're taking that Suzuki method, they're teaching them the foundation, and then they go into the songs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So there's no like mariachi manual, let's just say, per se.
Well, is there even a musician manual?
They try to have some of those. They try to have books and method books, but like my teacher was saying, why reinvent the wheel? Like there's stuff that works already, for the technique and stuff. And then after that, you can go into the songs. Then you can go into the style and
so it's like let's not fix something that's not broken.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, for me, like for me and my brother, we started on Suzuki, and then we got into mariachi. So it's
a proven tactic.
That worked.
Damn.
But do you think that'll keep working? Like let's just say the Suzuki method? Or
it's been around for over 100 years at this point.
Okay.
Well, actually, I want to be as accurate as possible. I think it was like developed like around the 30s or something.
Ahorita hablamos a San Google y pues Suzuki method.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been common practice like in the United States, especially.
It's aimed for children. It's like a playful way of learning music, and it works. You go on to YouTube and look at the kids that are starting at 3 years old playing violin,
starting with Twinkle Twinkle
and
Little
they're
Star.
starting with the Suzuki method, so it works.
¿Qué tan difícil es adquirir un instrumento? I mean, es que para mí yo no sabía nada de instrumentos, por eso no tenía acceso. ¿Qué es lo que pueden decirle a todos que están escuchando? Que es una de las formas de adquirir. What's a way to? Because I mean, when my son was in teaching, and I appreciate you so much because if I've never said this publicly, he enjoyed it. He enjoyed music that I never thought he would enjoy, and him trying to sing. I was getting to a point where he wanted to sing, but then he was too cool for school. So he's like, I'm not gonna sing that, But he has the same deep voice as me, and he's developing it. So, but I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, pero cuando tú eras su maestro, there había un I think it was a music store that would rent instruments, and you would pay monthly, and they would take them to the school. But para alguien que no tiene nada de acceso, que no sabe que es una tienda de música, ¿cómo pueden adquirir un instrumento?
Well, the one thing I can tell you, don't go on Amazon to buy a violin or a vihuela or anything like that.
Te va a salir así de chiquita, ¿verdad? De juguete.
No, but it's a real thing that people deal with. They'll buy like these really cheap instruments from Amazon, and you
Pink
can't
violins, blue,
and you can't do anything with them.
No strings or anything. It's just
so those like different colored violins, nomás es para show or para like decor or something.
I mean, it's to reel the kids in. I want that. But it doesn't really. I mean, you go on Facebook pages and look at what this parent brought me, and those Facebook pages for the teachers, and yeah, they're instruments that don't really work. So I don't know what you're still teaching. What advice do you give?
You're still teaching.
I mean, one thing is something that me and my dad have done. We've just checked on Facebook Marketplace. We've gone to pawn shops, and sometimes people will sell pretty. I mean, not the best violins, but pretty decent ones for like $50, $100, and it's like they could be worth like $800.
Yeah,
I guess like to answer your question, someone that doesn't know anything, I think the best thing is to rent an instrument from a music store, because I mean you don't know what a good violin sounds like, So I think the best thing is to rent.
It's guaranteed to be quality.
Yeah.
That's and I mean most music shops. Like one shop that my school does business with is Kagan and Gaines. Shout out to them. They charge like $23 a month for a violin. I know that William Harris Lee in downtown, they charge $23 a month, so it's like 23, 25,
it's
like within.
It's
within that range. But it's the problem comes from that classical roots behind the violin. Everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's so fancy. You see like people in tuxedos playing these violins, and yeah, I mean it can be very, very intimidating for someone who has like no experience, no idea what the violin is capable of. But I mean if you really want a decent violin to get a kickstart on your violin education, your music education, then I mean your best bet, the safest bet is to go ahead and rent.
Yeah, especially for the kids, because they're growing, and as they grow, they need a different size violin and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a cool thing that some music shops. I mean, most music shops will do it, but like if you're like 5 years old, then you'll need like an eighth size violin from like the actual big thing. But as you get older and you continue to do business with the shop, as you get older, they're like, okay, now it's time to give you a half size, and now it's time to get to the full size. And you've been renting with this person for many years at this point.
That makes sense. That's cool.
That's actually cool. Aquel entonces no había guitar centers aquí o en los 80s, en los 90s. ¿Dónde iba a agarrar sus instrumentos?
Pues había más oportunidades de agarrar violines aquí, como yo tocaba el violín. Había más en la garra, en los punch-ups y todo eso.
Ajá.
Había muchos instrumentos que podías comprar. Claro, pues no una cosa muy buena, porque los violines pues hay unos carísimos que 5,000, 10,000 ya para que más o menos traigas un instrumento bueno.
Y una meta de usted era de agarrar un violín de oro o bañado en oro o algo así.
No más que me ayudara a trabajar y es todo.
Es todo para sacar el trabajo, ¿verdad? No más que funcionara.
Sí.
¿Sabe? Algo que siempre me ha fascinado del mariachi es no sé si es como regla, ustedes me pueden decir, pero todos cantan, la mayoría todos cantan, ¿verdad? Eso es nomás, ¿qué es?
Pues mira,
tradición o es de
lo que pasa es que el repertorio del mariachi es muy extenso. En canciones así, por decir, canciones de talón, olvídate. Muchísimas canciones. Entonces, si tú puedes cantar, pues yo les digo a los muchachos que más o menos veo que pueden cantar, apréndete 1 o 2 o 3 canciones. Con eso le ayudas mucho al primer vocalista que está ahí, porque sale uno muerto, porque a veces pues me ha tocado a mí clientes, pues claro, mayores, ¿verdad? Así como yo. Entonces, pues que ellos piden música que les gustaba.
Sí.
Entonces, pues los jóvenes, ¿con qué se come eso?
¿Cuál?
¿Qué? y por eso, pues todas las personas que pueden cantar, pues tratan de ayudar.
Okay.
Por eso.
Sí, porque
por eso
sí
la
veo
mayoría.
Que todos, la mayoría. Yo
Pero
he
¿cómo
visto
se la
bastantes.
dividen? ¿Cómo sabes que, aviéntate esto?
No, pues uno, digo, si estás en disposición de trabajar, yo me la canto.
Oh, okay.
Órale.
Sí.
Y el otro, yo la sé.
Batter up.
And it depends on the voice too. The Luis Miguel, like when Jesus was here with our group, pues él las de Luis Miguel.
Yeah.
Yo
Ah,
las
sí.
de José Alfredo, or my dad, pues las viejitas, like he was saying. The ones that we didn't know.
Pues las más bonitas.
Yeah,
Pues sí.
but like he was saying, the repertoire is so extensive. Like nowadays, like clients expect you to cover so much music that's not just mariachi per se.
Yeah.
Cristian Nodal.
Banda, norteño, English music.
Tócame la chona.
And we do English stuff too. And Andres kind of took over for Jesus because he was the one doing all the R&B stuff and all that. So he kind of took over that role.
There has to be, tiene que haber una canción que de seguro cuando la piden están, pero la tenemos que tocar, ¿verdad? Como músico, un DJ, los corridos de los Pérez, el Centenario, esa canción, pero hay una canción que nomás dice, ay, pinche canción.
Pues,
No, pues el mariachi loco.
I was about to say that. I'm like,
no, but you know what's interesting though? El Mariachi Loco was composed by a man who's from Ameca, Jalisco.
Oh, shit.
Yo adoro esa canción. Me cae gorda tocarla, pero la adoro. Sí, el señor Román Palomar fue un gran compositor
De cumbias.
de cumbias. Él innovó mucho el mariachi, ese señor, porque empezó a grabar música clásica, semiclásica, con el mariachi. Empezó a grabar pues música semiclásica como Rontinelas, Poeta y Campesino, todo eso.
Pero con el clarinete, ¿no?
Sí, le metía trompetas y con el clarinete, violín. Es que el mariachi, los instrumentos que tenemos nosotros, se puede tocar todo eso, porque hay violines y está el guitarrón, que pueden ser el bass de la orquesta, y las armonías, las trompetas. O sea, tenemos todo para... No sé si hayan escuchado música clásica con mariachi. Hay muchísimos de esos grabados.
It's funny because there's actually a song that's like a big medley of all these famous
Classical
pieces. What's the name of it? Atrapando or something like that?
Atrapado entre los clásicos.
Yeah, and it's like I think it was originally a disco song.
They even have like...
La tiene el Mariachi Ameca.
Yeah.
And they have like the Vivaldi Four Seasons too.
The Flight of the Bumblebee, stuff like that.
But in mariachi.
Yeah, in mariachi.
Mariachi.
Going back onto what my dad was saying, it's like you can do so much with the money. You can play cumbias, you can play music from different countries, from Germany, even from Japan.
And
There's
the traditionalists, they frowned upon that. They said, no, we can't be doing that stuff. But now, Mariachi Vargas was one of the ones that they're like, how are we going to be playing cumbias? That's not what we do. Mm-hmm. And now they're playing cumbias. And the kid, Roman Palomar's son, played with Mariachi Vargas, and now his grandson plays with Mariachi Vargas. Wow. And it's kind of crazy because they were criticizing this guy, and now like his family's in that group.
Yeah. Y hay una anécdota que cuando el maestro Silvestre Vargas vio a Rafael Palomar, hijo de Don Román, porque no les gustaba lo que Don Román hacía, al Mariachi Vargas, pues era el Mariachi Vargas, y Don Román se metía a lo popular, a
las cumbias,
al desmadre, pues acá. Sí. Entonces que cuando entró Rafa, volteó y lo vio y dice, nunca pensé que en mi mariachi iba a andar un Palomar.
Wow.
Sí.
Y sí, anduvo ahí.
Y hasta la fecha.
Y ahorita anda un nieto.
Un nieto.
Wow. Para que se les quite.
Canta.
Crazy how that works.
Muy buenos cantantes, pues andan ahí por algo.
Sí. That's crazy. Siempre hay un dicho, ¿verdad? No me acuerdo cómo exactamente de... No critiques algo porque luego lo tienes en casa, algo así, ¿verdad?
Lo que no puedes ver en tu casa lo has de tener.
Yeah. Y él.
Han sido parte de festivales. You guys were part of Lollapalooza, or what was?
Yeah.
I wanted to know that. What was this artist?
So we've done Lollapalooza actually twice.
Wow.
But not Mariachi Ameca. Okay.
No.
So
right.
the first year it was Mariachi Ameca, and we, Dylan Francis, his manager. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dylan Francis. He's like an EMD, right?
EDM, electronic
or
dance music.
EDM,
Yeah.
EMD, whatever it is.
Eso.
Yeah.
You can tell we're mariachis, right?
Yeah, he called us up and he was like, "Hey, Dylan Francis wants a mariachi to like do his intro for Lollapalooza." And I was like, "All right, we're there," So we did, and it was a one-day thing. we went there. We did our intro. It was like, man, it was out of this world. It was really, really cool. Then while I was in Texas, I made some connections in Texas. They hit me up right before I was coming back after I finished my master's, and they said, hey, this local artist from Austin, Texas, is being invited to Lollapalooza, and she needs musicians. I need 2. And I said, okay, yeah. So I told my brother right away. I said, hey, what do you think? You want to play? So she kind of does like pop with like mariachi instruments kind of in there. It's like a fusion thing.
Okay.
And her name is what's her name?
Leslie
Reinaga.
Reinaga.
Leslie Reinaga. So we ended up going. I convinced her to bring on another trumpet player from our band, Mauricio Gradilla. Shout out to him too.
Shout out.
Shout out. Oh, I think I know Mauricio, yeah.
Oh, you know Mauricio?
Yeah.
I think his cousin is, ¿cómo se llama?
Gonzalo, right?
Gonzalo.
Yeah.
Gonzalo's his cousin, yeah. So we brought him out there, and we rehearsed, and we did the Lollapalooza. And she wasn't a big name like Dylan Francis was, but she hooked it up for us. Like, she got us 4-day pass, artist pass. So we were backstage and everything. It was a really great time.
Yeah.
How's that experience? So cuando y estoy seguro que también a usted le hablaron unos músicos grandes de México que en un momento, hey, necesito músicos. ¿Cómo? Like, walk me through how that kind of worked. Porque no tienen tanto, vamos a decir, no tienen como una semana para ensayar las canciones. So how does that work? Like, pues, o sea, ya saben los artistas de México, ya saben las canciones, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Pero, ¿cómo funciona eso cuando les hablan?
Bueno, una vez me habló un grupo que venía un director artístico, no me acuerdo su nombre. Venía Lucha Villa en aquel tiempo. Entonces me habló para que le ayudara, que se le echaba acordeón, pues, porque necesitaban acordeón. Y sí, pues regularmente ya conoce uno pues pues las canciones de la señora en aquel tiempo.
Yo he visto como artistas que no traen sus propios músicos de México, ¿verdad?
No.
Y se enojan en el escenario, ¿verdad? No, que tocan esto.
I mean, I've had a few experiences where you go and you rehearse all day, with a group or whatever. You get there and the artist changes everything.
Yeah.
And you don't play any of the songs that you rehearsed.
Yeah.
So it's a headache. That's why we don't really do that much.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not professionals in that aspect. But,
nadie, bro, to pick up for last minute, pues no, nadie puede leer mentes.
yeah.
No.
That's awesome. The Lollapalooza is cool too because the whole mariachi. Do you guys remember when the mariachi guys did the Post Malone thing too?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
I think that we need more of that. Right? Like just more fusion. Pero with the traditionalist, is the fusion even allowed now, or is there pushback still? I mean, I know Alejandro Fernandez did Nata or whatever. Like, is that something that is more accepted then? Or
in a sense, yes.
I know it's music. There's no rules, right? In a sense, I guess.
I mean, I think there was more pushback back then, but
A little bit more. Right now, people are a little bit more open-minded.
Accepting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peso Pluma will do a song. You guys would be down for Peso Pluma y mariachi?
I mean, hey, they're playing at United Center. We won't say no.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it not even like go farther from like just traditional, like you said, fusions now. There was a group que se llama Mariachi El Bronx. That was like a fusion rock. And then right now there's a girl group, La Flor de Toloache.
Yeah.
And they're really talented, but they just do fusion. They did a song with John Legend or something like that, and it just kind of fuses everything. Like now it's just not even just mariachi, right? Just
just talking back to what we were talking about earlier with like what the mariachi is capable of. You know, it stems down to that. You know.
Yeah.
It's just like with any music genre, it's going to evolve.
Yeah.
Right. Even in the classical genre, you know, you start with Baroque, you go to classical, then romantic, then modern, yada yada. But you know, with this fusion, the mariachi is very, very much capable of doing that. You know, it may not be agreed upon.
Yeah.
but it's totally possible.
Right.
Doable. It's doable.
It is dope.
That's interesting. I mean, the other thing that I wanted to ask was, me agarró un poquito de curiosidad que when we first started, you said that mom saw the voice. Mom's a musician too, like, because she's pointing. She got a good ear. She got a good ear, that's for sure.
She's not a musician. I don't know. Did you ever sing? She's in the audience. By the way. Did you ever sing? No. She just has a good ear.
No, pero es que muchas mamás tienen ese amor. Dice, mi hijo sabe cantar y. They're tone deaf or something.
Yeah. Es el amor, but I mean, I can tell she's got the ear. I mean, I think con los dos les dijo, you guys got a good voice. I was just curious. I'm like, let me not forget. Yeah. I'm a big believer que whenever, as a parent, as soon as you see one of your kids going in a direction, especially in arts, like, man, you got to hit that. Like, apoyarlos, darles todo lo que se tenga que hacer para sobresalir en el arte. Especialmente si les encanta, porque, es difícil convencer a los niños a ensayar. Y cuando el niño nomás quiere ensayar porque quiere ensayar, like, bro, let's go. Es lo mejor que puede ver. Y hay que aprovechar esos momentos. Para usted, ¿qué significa? Y a lo mejor es algo como ya es alta generación, ya es algo normal, pero de todos modos, esas noches o esos tiempos después de esa trayectoria, el significado de poder tocar con sus hijos, o sea, ¿qué es lo que siente cuando pasan tantos años y compartir tantos momentos, buenos y malos?
Sí, claro.
Sí.
No, pues te imaginas cómo se siente uno un orgullo muy grande de que tus hijos pues estén trabajando contigo, volteas y los ves cantar, ves tocar, pues como nunca pensaste. Y es una satisfacción y orgullo muy grande. Muy grande. Que ya dice uno, bueno, ya les enseñé el camino, puse mi granito de arena para que en este país siga la tradición de nosotros, aliciense y de todo México, porque pues el mariachi representa a México. Digo, sin menospreciar a las demás agrupaciones, pero ven un mariachi y dices México.
Sí.
Entonces, pues aquí en Chicago pues ya dejamos la semilla del mariachi, y yo espero pues que siga.
Nunca han llegado un cliente y dice, I'm ready for some salsa.
Sí, hombre, cada rato.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. My favorite is when when we're at those type of gigs, and
Those types.
and someone who's probably had a couple of margaritas, right? Because that's what they're serving. That's what they're serving. They'll. I call it like the monkey dance, where like I don't know, like they're trying to dance flamenco, but they'll go like.
Oh yeah.
No más esto.
Mi copa ya se va a miar.
Or doing the Macarena or whatever.
And it's weird because it's two different cultures, and they don't know that.
Yeah, it's like when it's a running joke también con los norteños y las bandas. Llega uno que es norteño y banda y ya llegó el mariachi.
Es que allá en Texas, man, it's crazy porque dice, ya, ahorita va a llegar una banda y llega un grupo. I'm like, that's not a banda. Like, una banda's like a lot of guys. They're like, no, this is una banda acá. I'm like, no, this is a grupo.
Yeah, that's crazy too. We were talking about the Mexican food here is more Mexican than it is in Texas.
Yeah.
But also even like some of the music, like I didn't see any bandas out there when I was.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird how there's more culture here than there is in Texas,
Or border towns, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, everything
And
kind of changes.
that's really why I love being in this city in Chicago, because there's like, there's so much culture there. Not just Mexican culture, but you can go to Chinatown and you'll get like authentic food. You'll get the great experience down there. North side, you got the Middle Eastern neighborhood with the great food as well. I mean, I'm just talking about food here. But no,
That's our language, man. We're talking the same language.
Yeah, we were mentioning earlier. I mean, para nosotros en el GuacPod es la música number one y va con los tacos. O sea, hemos platicado con taqueros, con gente de restaurantes, comales, a Totonilco, porque para un músico es, hey, pues ¿a dónde? Pues a los
Ya
tacos.
después de...
Los taquitos.
Esta temporada tenemos a Jonathan, ¿no? Jonathan Zaragoza, de Riverside Zaragoza. También de La Barca, Jalisco.
Eso, puro jalisciense.
Oye, esta temporada estuvo muy jalisciense. Estuvo bien jalisciense.
¿Qué es lo más, pues ya que ya tienen mucha trayectoria, tienen límites ustedes como un grupo, como un mariachi, vamos a decir, tienen límites como decir, ya sé que ya tienen la agenda, vamos a bloquear esta semana, este mes, porque ya tienen ese lujo, pero aparte, cuando llega un cliente, los quiero por 13 horas, derechitos. ¿Agarra ese trabajo o se limita?
No, claro que sí lo agarraríamos, ¿cómo no?
Eso. Por eso Andrés está diciendo, ¿cuántas horas, pa?
No, déjame decirte, por allá en Ameca, pues tenemos de la familia, hay 3 grupos ahí en el pueblo, de pura familia, la mayoría de familia.
Sí.
Y cuando voy para allá, pues a veces les falta un mono por ahí, y me dicen, no, padrino, tío, lo que sea, ayúdenos, vale. No, hombre, 5, 6, 7, 8 horas por allá en ranchos, y luego siguiendo a los novios de la iglesia a la casa, en lo empedrado, no. Y te vienen pagando como, ¿qué? 300 pesos la hora, algo así.
Sí, está bien.
Entonces me pongo a hacer cuentas y
whole different game.
Vámonos a Chicago.
no, por favor, aquí no.
Vámonos a Chicago. Sí,
No,
allá
pues
está.
es que allá 300 pesos, eso es lo que pagué para una banda en la plaza ahí en Ponce. 300 pesos la hora. Yo, ¿otras 8?
Otras 8.
Para la otra vez que le hable aquí a Meca, dile, ¿cuánto me cobran? Pero en pesos.
Pero ahorita I had a little joke porque la última vez que fui a México traje pesos y siempre los tenía en la cartera. So cuando estaba en El Paso me estorban 1,000 pesos aquí, a ver qué puedo agarrar con 1,000 pesos. Dice, hazte para allá, son como $20.
Allí, by the way, we didn't mention it earlier, but you're a teacher at Morton East.
Morton East High School.
And then
Cicero.
right there, do you do like a shout out to all the Morton East, because I know we have there's going to be a lot of people watching.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
My teacher was on the WalkPod.
And he was drinking.
Put it away.
Do you teach mariachi there? Like, is there like
Yes.
a mariachi program?
Yes, there is a mariachi class at Morton East. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's great because I mean, my brother was talking about how mariachi is like really, really big in Texas, but not really well developed here. And my goal with Morton East and with the mariachi program there is to really, really build it up, and be like the trailblazer for mariachi education, and to let that be the blueprint, or to copy the blueprint, I guess, of all the programs in Texas, and just bring it over here in Cicero. Because I think there's so many talented kids there, so many.
How difficult is the politics though, like between administration to getting to your goal? Because I know sometimes there'll be some speed bumps.
Well, I mean, with Title I schools, it's money can always be an issue, But you know, with the equipment that we get, they're very supportive. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that they're not.
Yeah.
They love having us. They love the assemblies. They love the concerts, and it's as far as like working with them, I really haven't seen any much drawback. Right now, we're just like in a weird period where we're trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to teach this type of music and make it accessible to all these students of various different economic backgrounds. You know, some are very some are at the poverty line, and some are pretty well off.
Right.
So it ranges, especially at Morton East. So we try our best to be as equitable and as accessible as possible, so that we can give these students the opportunities to really shine and grow.
How open-minded are like the kids that you guys teach? I mean, in your experience, porque cuando yo estaba creciendo, like, a mí no me gustaba nada la música en español. Pinches diners, pinches música de paisa. Y ahora mira.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I have a lot of students who fit that background.
Yeah.
Who have said like, I always hated the music that my dad would put on the radio. I hate the music that my mom listens to, or the music that my mom listens to, and sure enough, you give them a guitar, you let them sing once, and they're like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah.
And it's a really beautiful thing to see, because for me it hits close to home, because it's what we were raised in. It's what it's our bread and butter.
It's just giving them an opportunity, to try it.
To try it, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And funny enough, those exact same students who like push back against it, they're the students that grow, they're the best ones, the ones that grow the most too.
Yeah, they're probably the ones that end up loving it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I wish the school system was more like I just mentioned with the, the papas, when you see your kid liking music or sport, like go full throttle on it. I mean, I wish schools would be going up to the music teacher and like, hey, which ones are our top guys? Because we're gonna take them out and give them an extra class of preparación a un instrumento nada más, kind of thing, and take them to the next level. You guys got to make it happen. I don't know, politics. Jesse, get involved. You're cool with TPS.
With that voice?
It's
Get a megaphone.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it all comes down to money, man. Porque nadie, una persona, un músico, un profesional, sí puede trabajar gratis, pero no todo el tiempo. And that's probably the top
bottom
issue.
line.
That's probably the top issue, or get some compensation, because it's a talent that needs to be spread. Pero it's also a mental game también, porque pues me imagino, porque yo no sé, pero de lo que yo veo, para una persona que quiera aprender de música o de DJ o algo, pues también they need to be disciplined, and they need, they just want to go from zero to be famous. Y estoy seguro que también ustedes ven de que alguien que tiene un interés ya quiere hacer $1,000 el fin de semana. y pues hay niveles. There's levels of where you get. It's like an athlete, and that's kind of how I compare it. Like an athlete, you got to start off slow, y como músico tienes que tropezarte, tienes que fallar para aprender de esas lecciones. And I'm sorry, but not sorry. Esta juventud y esta gente no están aptos para eso. No quieren fracasar porque ven pura they see a lot of success, but they don't see the work involved.
So you guys think the same as far as the kids? You don't think they have the drive to do it more? Do they just want instant success? Is that the model?
I do see some. I do see a little bit of that in some students, but I mean, it's a mixed bag. Like you'll get some of those type of students, and they mean well. They wanna get good. I mean, who doesn't want to sound good at their instrument?
Yeah.
You know? But no, it does involve the hard work, and that's something that's missing.
Yeah, a lot of the times they want to skip steps. I don't want to play none of that basic stuff. I want to play
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
El
places
Cascabel or something.
Right.
And no, but you need those foundations, you know, to just so that they develop good tones, they develop good technique and all that stuff that comes with it,
Yeah.
with being a good musician, you know. So if you skip those steps, you know, you're not doing anything for them, right? You know, unfortunately, sometimes you're forced to kind of skip the steps because, you know, administration, hey, I want them to play 30 minutes, I want them to play an hour, and well, now I don't have time to teach them how to hold the violin properly. I got to teach them, you know, árboles de la barranca or whatever, you know, so that they can play their show.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we have to deal with, and I'm really bad at, I guess, pushing for stuff, you know. And they tell me no once, I'm like, okay. Pues,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
so I'm really bad at that, and I think that's why I was like, you know, I think I'm going to take a break from teaching for now just to find myself and all that. But I think we do need someone like that that's kind of, hey, this is what's working, you know, in other states. We got to do this. If not, it's not going to work, you know.
Yeah.
So.
¿Qué es una de las metas de usted? ¿De ya jubilación? O como yo, que yo me quería jubilar a los 25, pero no es posible.
Ya no.
No, no, pues hasta que me aguanten,
Sí.
mientras pueda. Hasta que...
No es trabajo para usted, ¿verdad?
Bueno, pues, toda mi vida he hecho esto. Entonces te imaginas que ya no lo haga. Yo creo
no se
que-
puede encontrar una persona, ¿verdad? No se puede encontrar nomás ahí en la casa.
No.
Yeah. But you only are not teaching. You're still playing mariachi, right?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
always gonna play. You know, I want to get to a point where I don't have to like depend on it. You know, having to go gig every weekend. But you know, it's always gonna be a part of my life. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's one of the things I've always told my wife since before we got married. Hey, there's always gonna be a part of my life. And now that I'm married and I have kids, you know, I kind of want to step back from it a little bit, but it's still always gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's
for
kind
sure.
of weird though, like when you have like a free weekend, you're just like, ¿qué voy a?
Dude,
¿Vamos
it's
a barrer or what, are we gonna go to the supermarket?
Mariachi, for me, is both a blessing and a curse. And I say it's a curse because my wife knows when I'm not listening to her. Okay? So she's talking to me, and sometimes I'll be like, you know, like pretending like I'm strumming the guitar, or I'm like, you know, or the trumpet or whatever. So she knows now. So
Man.
that's the thing.
It's not too hard, though. Us men, we're 80% of the time we're not listening.
We're not listening at all.
I know, but that
But the
doesn't
women
help.
get it wrong though. The women get it wrong because like I'm an audio snob. So cuando estoy en un concierto, yo estoy viendo las bocinas, estoy viendo el ingeniero en chinga, cambiando los micrófonos y mi vieja está viendo esa pinche vieja chichona, ¿verdad? And I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the guy, he's fucking up. No conectó la pinche bocina, güey.
Ya te conoce algo.
Ya me
hijo.
conoces. Jeez.
Bueno, un ojo para allá y otro para acá.
Sí, ¿verdad? Pero sí la vi,
Sunglasses.
sí la estaba viendo.
Sunglasses. Y aprovechamos ahorita también, antes de que se me vaya a olvidar, sé que ahorita que también regresé Andrés, para si quieren mandar algunos especiales individualmente a gente en particular, ¿verdad? Que va a estar viendo el podcast porque está en YouTube, está en Spotify, lo pueden escuchar y ver por donde quiera, ahora sí. Y pues aprovechar para que también manden ustedes algún saludo por todo el apoyo que les han dado a ustedes, individualmente. Si tienen gente por ahí que quieren mandar un saludito.
Pues especialmente a los demás compañeros que pues están con nosotros. Un saludo muy especial a Jonathan, a Cristi, a Rocío, a Isaac, a Adán y a Julián.
A Julián. A Mauro.
Mauro Gradilla, todos ellos.
Antes de los de interrupt, ¿cómo se acomplan ustedes? ¿Si tienen práctica? O sea, ¿tienen como un día apartado para practicar
Sí,
o nomás?
Miguel te puede explicar eso.
Well,
We don't.
No, we try to. The thing is that it's very difficult. Some of us like have jobs, apart from this. I don't really want to get together during the week. That's what we used to do. We used to get together during the week. I live in Indiana now, so it's a long way. So we try to rehearse on days that we have gigs, which is a little bit, exhausting, but it's the only thing that kind of works for us right now.
So it's like, get there an hour early before a gig, we're going to do this, done.
But before, there was a lot of times that we didn't practice because there wasn't enough, I guess, drive to rehearse and stuff. And I mentioned earlier that we had, compañeros that really didn't want to rehearse. They're like, I know what I'm doing already. But, if you want to stay relevant and you want to, give your clients the best quality, you have to rehearse. And I know my dad can explain to you, like back then, he's always telling me, no, pues antes, tenías amor por la camiseta and, estudiabas y no ibas de maroma con todos los grupos, and it's changed. It's changed, honestly. Like
Todo cambió.
and I don't know if in other states, but here in Chicago, for sure, it's changed based on what he tells me.
¿Cuándo aceptó eso? Recientemente.
Todavía no lo sé.
Él todavía quiere ensayar el miércoles, güey.
No, pues es que antes estudiaban todos los días, ¿no? Es lo que me
Estudiábamos varios días. Y pues sí, antes todo cambió. Con la pandemia especialmente cambiaron muchas cosas. Ahora el cliente te manda la lista de las canciones que quiere.
Ellos quieren.
Entonces, la que no, si está dentro del gremio musical que sabemos que es famosa, tenemos que tocársela. Entonces,
500 balazos.
Ahora, eso...
Aparte de eso, antes pues iba uno por las mesas cuando estaban, y ahora no.
Ahí ya, no se muevan de ahí.
Te muevas de ahí. Por eso te mandan la lista, pues cambió todo, cambió mucho.
Pero también como un músico yo puedo, o un integrante yo puedo ver, pues, tocamos el Rey 10 veces al día. ¿Para qué vamos a ensayar?
No, lo que dicen los charros. ¿Cómo que van a estudiar? Yo pensaba que ya sabían.
No, and there's certain aspects that I learned in Texas, from the professionals.
Yeah.
Every instrument has a role in the mariachi.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes we don't listen to those things, We'll listen to the recordings, but we're not really analyzing what's going on. And that's why it's still important to go over those songs so that you make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do for that specific
Do you
song.
get monotone after a certain while, though? Like it's just, I don't want to say tone deaf, but like, do you just become like a robot because you're so accustomed to it?
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid, and the style and all that goes into the song. We want to try to replicate it to the best of our abilities, So, and that's why I'm saying that, even El Son de la Negra, that it's like the anthem of mariachis. We play it all the time, but we've gone over it several times because, hey, the guitarrón needs to kind of push a little bit there. The vihuela needs to follow the melody, and the trumpets and the violins are not doing the same articulation. They're blending, and it's all of that stuff that goes into it.
Quiero saber si hablan como un músico. Hey, tú le tienes que poner pum 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 pum. No, pum pum. No, así hablan ustedes porque así cuando le digo a un músico, hey, hazle así ting 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 ting. Boom, boom, boom.
We're not even talking words. We're talking onomatopoeia at this point. But we oftentimes do that, and it's. I kind of like think in the back of my head. It's just so funny. I look at the little things of just music making. How we talk to each other and how we communicate, and just the idea that we're here together making music, and it's very easy to lose that, but it's nice to remind yourselves that there's something cool that we're doing. Whether it's mariachi, whether it's banda, whether it's norteño, it truly is a blessing to be able to do something like this and to make a living off it, depending on how often you work.
It's a good
It's like I tell my students, or my former students, right? But I used to tell them, like, you never know where music's going to take you. we've been to Lollapalooza. We've played for the Bulls. Not Ameca, right? But when I was helping out Mariachi Monumental, we did the Bulls, White Sox. Ameca did the Cubs. And, we've done a lot of things that otherwise we wouldn't have been a part of, So that's why I tell them you never know where music's going to take you. And it's just an amazing thing for sure.
It's for sure another language almost, right? Like, just to know how to perform, and you're like trilingual now.
Yeah, and even in mariachi, you have your own language too. You say primera, segunda, tercera. And I'm sure in banda you guys use the same terminology.
Same thing,
I just learned in my master's. I know this is going to go over some people's heads, but primera is the one chord. So if you're in do, you're playing, the primera do.
Yeah.
If you're playing the segunda, it's the 5 chord. In Roman numerals, this is a 5.
Okay.
Tercera is the 4 chord. In Roman numerals, this is the 4.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how they came up with that. Yeah. And I didn't know this. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, right. My brother learned this Miguel learned this in Texas, right? And I'm on some occasions I go to I would visit him, just say hi and stuff, and just go on and
Get away.
Get away. And I was in the classroom when he learned that. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Just like, total, like mind explosion.
It was. But your parents are here, but
yeah.
I know what you're trying to say.
Right. Yeah. But no, it's just like little details like that and the history behind it. It's really, really fascinating to me.
Yeah. That is pretty bad.
That was actually bad.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else, because I know that como when, like, the banda guys, they'll be like, oh, ¿en qué tono está? And they'll be like, ah. So it's like, fa or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The sign
Fucking
language.
ass.
That one I had.
Yeah, the primera, segunda, tercera.
Yeah.
I think I forgot the exact story. I'm sorry. But they were like, the kids would learn music or whatever. And, a lot of the times the chords that they would use from the scales was the 1, the 2, the 1, the 5, and the 4. So they called, the most important one is primera, the segunda, and then tercera, because those are the ones that they would use most of the time.
Yeah.
So. For us, when we just go like this, es la última canción.
Una más, yeah.
That's awesome. Seguimos con los saludos. Ya que Andres también. I was saying, para que, if you guys want to shout out somebody in particular, if you guys want to say thank you or anything to individually, anybody in particular.
Well, I guess I'd like to shout out my girlfriend Grace. She's at home right now. She's she's taking care of our 2 cats that we have at home. So
nice.
I want to shout her out, and just shout out to any of my students that happen to be listening to this. But yeah, no, it's great. Awesome. Shout out to my family, my mom, who's sitting in the audience, who supported us.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. She manages all of our bookings and all that stuff. So shout out to her. She really helps out with the group. Shout out to my wife too. I don't have any cats, but I got 3 kids, and she's at home taking care of them. Shout out to Jesus Ramos too. Jesus Ramos is a really good friend of ours. And all the people from the group. Dr. Adolfo Estrada, who was my mentor in Texas. Mr. Miguel Guzman, who was my violin professor. Yeah, and I don't know. Anybody else?
Actually, Ed Warble.
Oh, Mr. Warble, he's the music teacher that we kind of created that relationship with. That kind of started my interest in music
From the beginning.
So
Nice.
Mr. Ed Warble.
And what school was that from?
That was at Unity.
Unity, our middle school.
Unity. So I was the first class to, but estrenamos esa escuela.
Is that in Cicero, right?
Yeah.
It's Cicero.
Yeah. The one out.
Right now he's retired. He's with his wife Kate, and they're out in the Carolinas. So shout out to Warble.
Big shout out to
All right, let my dad get his piece because
No,
trying to talk.
Yo quería mandarle un saludo a Jaime Jr., que él formó parte también de los hermanos del Mariachi Ameca bastante tiempo.
Shout out.
Jaime Jr., mucho saludo para él.
Saludos.
Saludo para Junior.
¿Y eso de las redes, andan un poco activados con las redes o cómo han manejado todo eso?
We started recently to kind of, since I've been back, we started going, well, before that, Andres kind of took over and he was doing the Instagram. So we're on Instagram, Facebook. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
we're in
I
the
mean,
baby
we'll-
steps of social
Yeah,
media.
we'll upload clips onto
Right,
YouTube.
right.
I mean, you know, right? I mean, Instagram is like really where it's at. You know, we'll upload stuff onto Facebook.
Our website, mariachiameca.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
MariachiAmeca.com. And the social medias are Mariachi Ameca.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Mariachi Ameca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
it.
that's our handle for Instagram.
Badass. I'm very, 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 very happy that you guys came, man. Mi compa Jesse, ¿cómo vio? I mean,
No, pues es que...
we were not going to even scratch the surface.
No,
today, brother.
no, of course not. Aquí anduviéramos por horas hablando de toda la trayectoria, pero es un honor desde el... Estaba tratando de acordarme cuándo era la primera vez que los escuché. And I want to say... No, I want to say...
No, it was years ago.
It was probably like 2010.
Let me ask you this real quick. Have you sang with them?
No, hell no.
tiene buena voz.
No.
This
Yo
guy
nomás-
sings.
yo nomás tengo
When he's
voz-
drunk, he sings.
Yo no tengo voz para cantar en el baño. Pero sabes que no se puede comparar el señor Jaime Jr. when he sings and then when you sing together and then when everybody sings. O sea, es una voz de familia especially when Rocío sings too. It's like, man, ya me dio sed. Ya me dio sed. Y pues Jaime también tiene una voz poderosa. Miguel, you do too. Andres, you guys have a powerhouse of voices that se nota el talento y pues especialmente cuando una persona dice quiero un mariachi, este es un pinche mariachi right here. Y aquí les mando los contactos de ustedes y siempre van a ser I'm always gonna recommend you guys because I think you guys are a big powerhouse. You guys are a tradition, no solamente una tradición de mexicana, pero una tradición de Chicago, porque tantos años estar aquí, it's just like, ya cuando ves, como dije, cuando ves a un mariachi, una persona, los cabrones van a estar buenos, ¿no? Déjame agarrar mi seisito. So when I ever see you guys entrar a un evento, me da un gusto saludarlos porque pues sé que hacen un trabajo, pero más de chingón, un trabajo bien hecho. Y como usted dijo, señor, plantó una semilla aquí que siempre va a ser you're going to be a legacy aquí en Chicago.
Thank you.
Y
Gracias.
también en Jalisco de seguro, porque cuando se pone el apellido Cervantes a un mariachi, siempre van a ser ustedes.
Sí. Gracias.
One more shout out before I forget.
Yeah.
One shout out to Fredo, the barber.
Oh man.
Fredo sauce?
Fredo
Fredo
sauce.
Now, because of him, we kind of made this connection. You know?
Right in the with us, right? Yeah, Fredo was the guy that linked us up.
He was my barber throughout high school, and
Oh, damn.
then yeah.
Fredo's off. Pinche Fredo.
Hey,
He used to
what
be
year-
our roommate.
What year was that? I think it was your dad's birthday. You got Mariachi Ameca.
Oh,
What was that,
yeah.
2015? 16?
Más o menos. It was before pandemic, right?
Oh,
For
way
sure.
before,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was about that. Yeah.
Esa noche no me olvido esa noche.
That was a good night.
That was a great night.
Yeah. Shout out to Fredo.
Fredo.
Thank you for reminding me of Fredo, man. Fredo's my brother, man. He's our brother. Vivimos juntos muchos años.
Every time he calls it, ¿Cómo estás, cabrón?
Mi compa Fry.
Apenas también me preguntaron por el mariachi. I'm like, first came to my mind, Mariachi Ameca. I'm like, here, this is like one of the best mariachis I've heard in a long time. And I do remember, la primera vez que lo escuché fue en esta fiesta, que estaba aquí en la 63, right here. Y dije, man, me quedé sorprendido con todas las voces tan educadas, tan bien chingonas, si no puedo decir algo así. Estaban perfectos los mariachi. Y me recuerdo que esa noche sí estaba, la música estaba buenísima con ustedes. Y muchísimas gracias por venir. Y,
No, gracias
No, a ustedes, a
y-
ustedes.
y
Por la
darnos
invitación.
Thank you.
darnos la oportunidad para escuchar su historia, porque sí, es como dijo Jesse, es parte de México, pero también es parte de Chicago,
Sí,
de tantos años y hay que reconocer, ¿verdad? So,
Claro.
thank you.
gracias a ustedes por tenernos aquí.
Y bueno, pues yo que les voy a decir, le quiero dar muchas gracias. Sé que no es que nos alcance el tiempo, pero sé que hay mucho más que pueden platicarnos. Ojalá que podamos sentarnos en el futuro de nuevo.
Claro, claro.
Un part two.
Claro que sí.
Porque sé que platicamos muy poco de todo lo que es el historial, ¿verdad? Pero tenemos que agarrar un poquito de cada uno también y escuchar y aprender y a mí me da mucho gusto de poder sentarnos con los tres. Felicidades on your masters.
Oh, thank you.
Felicidades por seguir educando a los jóvenes en lo que es la música. Y felicidades a usted por tener unos hijos que sigan esa trayectoria tan bonita, oiga.
Gracias.
I know you're retired from educating, man, but reconsider, bro.
Yeah,
We need great educators, man.
Yeah.
Your dad was
We'll see, we'll see.
Una pregunta
Killer.
bien rapidito antes, a los tres. Una persona que quisieran cantar junto, living or dead, viviendo o muertos. Miguel.
Para mí, oh man, it's hard. But for me, like my top, Javier Solis, he had a really educated voice, but nobody had the feeling that Jose Alfredo had for
Hell
singing.
yeah, hell yeah.
So for me, I'm always Jose Alfredo, Team Jose Alfredo.
Señor. José Alfredo también.
Javier Solís también.
Sí.
Javier Solís. Pues hay muchos grandes, hubo muchos grandes.
Pero usted sí cantó con muchos de los grandes también, ¿verdad? ¿O?
Pues los escuché, los alcancé a ver. Me alcancé a acompañar todavía a Lola Beltrán. Todavía.
Nice. Andrés.
Javier Solis. But if I had to go, if I had to change it up, then I'd probably do a charravita. I really love the sound.
nice.
Somebody that you guys would turn into mariachi music in the English artist side, like to sing like somebody in an English format.
Oh,
For me, it's Dean Martin.
Okay.
Dean
Oh,
Martin.
nice.
Good
Yeah.
one.
That makes sense.
Kanye West.
that's a really hard question, Tony Bennett, he's great to sing duos, rest in peace. But
He did that song with Vicente, right? Like Tony
yeah,
Bennett. It was really
the
nice.
Return to Me.
Yeah, it was a really nice song,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a really beautiful song. But yeah, it's really hard to say. I guess at the top of my mind, Tony
Yeah,
Bennett.
Good
Nice.
shit, man. Good shit.
We're good?
Great. No, pero podemos seguir, pero no.
Para mi compa José Cermeño, muchísimas gracias esta temporada. Porque también ya estamos cerrando ahora sí la temporada.
Eso.
Ya lo que sigue viene siendo algo live stream, pero por ahorita le damos las gracias a José Cermeño, toda la temporada que nos aguantó.
Me juro.
A mi compa Mechudo, que no vino todas las veces, pero vino la mayoría de las veces. A mi compa Georgie,
Georgie,
Georgie.
shout
que
out.
siempre está también en the background.
Mr.
with the chula.
Editor.
Siempre andan los lunes y los martes de Madrid haciendo todos los edits. Y más importante a ustedes que nos ven, que nos escuchan. Temporada número 6 es la temporada del verano que se puso muy bien. A nuestros patrocinadores, los que mencionamos, siempre les hemos dicho a los que nos escuchan y ven que si nos quieren apoyar, no nos manden feria ya, por favor. Ya no.
Don't cash app us anymore.
No, honestamente, si nos quieren apoyar, apoyen a nuestros sponsors, a nuestros, aparte de que nos ayudan a nosotros, todos son compas de nosotros.
Y a los grupos, a todos los
Gessiel,
grupos que
Luis,
Oh, yeah,
Georgie,
yeah.
todos, Javi Borjas, todos los que mencionamos son nuestros muy buenos amigos de bastante años y de la mejor manera que nos pueden ayudar en el GuacPod es que vayan y los visiten a ellos, a sus lugares, a sus negocios.
Yes,
Some
sir.
closing words for season 6, my boy.
Oh man, I'm ready for season 7 already. Let's do it in a week.
Let's do it in 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks straight. No, I gotta see that we're still here for 6 seasons, man. I always miss you guys when we have a little break, but let's do it again, man. Season 7, here we go.
Yes, sir. My boy, very good.
It was very different, especially with the new set and everything.
Yes.
New equipment. Now it's a little bit more of easier for us, and it keeps getting a little easier for us, and we like it, you know.
Next thing you know, we're going to have a fucking robot. No more mechudo.
Yeah, no, sorry. Sorry, Michulo. That's our next
We're going to start recording when it claps.
But thank you to everybody who supported us, supported all the bands, all the guests that we have, and all of our sponsors. I mean, it's always a big help, and it's always a great feeling to know that people wait for the next season.
Yes, sir.
You know, even when we started, like, hey, when the season ends, they're like, hey, we can't wait for next season. So, as much as you're excited, we're all excited to start the next one, and hopefully we'll start that soon after this.
Yes, sir. Muchísimas gracias para todos esta temporada al Extra Guac. Ojalá que les haya encantado un poquito de la historia de Mariachi Ameca. Ya se la saben, nos vemos para live stream, end of the season recap. We'll let you guys know what it is. La pura positiva, viejones, ya se la saben.
A GuacPod Season 6.
Este episodio está patrocinado por nuestros compas de Casa Humilde Cerveceria. Cerveza artesanal, elaborada aquí en Chicago, with a variety of 10 different styles to choose from. Casa Humilde is located at the District Brew Yards, 417 North Ashland in Chicago. Follow them on IG and like them on Facebook at CasaHumilde Cerveceria. To check availability near you, go to www.casahumildechicago.com and check out the store locator. You could also pick up some chelas at the District Brew Yards. Casa Humilde Cerveceria. Stay humilde. This GuacPod episode is brought to you by Borjas Law Group. El abogado Borjas contestará todas tus preguntas, explicará el proceso específico de inmigración que aplica en su caso, el tiempo que se toma procesar su caso y los costos asociados con las tarifas de inmigración y los honorarios legales. Llama al 312-788-2783 para programar tu cita. Y ahí de pasada, menciona el GuacPod para que te den tu consulta gratis.
This episode is brought to you by Rancho Los Guzman, hands down one of the most beautiful rancho-style venues there is in the Chicagoland area. They offer all the necessary services so that your next event is unforgettable. From weddings, quinceañeras, VIP private events, and holiday corporate events. Relax and enjoy while they take care of every single detail. Book your next event at Rancho Los Guzman, 2225 Maple Road in Joliet. For more information, call 815-200-4713 or check out their website at rancholosguzman.com. Se siente bien cuando tomamos la decisión correcta, como cuando eliges la canción perfecta para el momento perfecto o decides tomar una buena noche de descanso después de un día muy agitado. Tan bueno como tomar la decisión correcta en el tema de seguros. Por eso, Gessiel Gutierrez es agente de State Farm y está aquí en Albany Park para ayudarte a elegir la protección que quieres, el precio que quieres. Gessiel te explicará todo acerca de tus coberturas con State Farm para que sepas qué esperar si ocurre lo inesperado. Con Gessiel Gutierrez es fácil tomar la decisión correcta. Marca su número hoy. Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. This episode is brought to you by Goodfellas Parlor, located at 5939 West 35th Street in Cicero. They are open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Go check them out on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Make sure you look good, fellas.
It's also brought to you by Chicago Stickers. Contact R.A Graphix or Chicago Stickers. They're located in Elgin and they print everything from stickers, business cards, t-shirts, flyers, truck lettering. But they got you covered for all the trade show products, like table covers like this one, like ours, banners, canopies, backdrops, and much more. So for more info, follow them on IG at R.A Graphix with an X or at Chicago Stickers.
Today's episode is brought to you by Aguacate Chicago. Create your custom garment with us. We offer direct-to-garment services for your business or personal needs. There is no minimum order required, and we can also assist with creating your logo if needed. Follow us on all of our social media platforms under Aguacate Chicago.